welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for spending a little bit of that precious time. Time is precious. And, you know, when we're learning, I like to make it fun. And I think the music, you know, for me, it makes it more fun to teach. And hopefully for you, a little bit easier to learn. That's Church of Eight Wheels by Otis McDonald. I know some of you always ask, what's the music? It's the same music I've used, you know, for a while. I'm, of course, Big Cheds. And you know me from Twitter, at Big Cheds, Twitter, X. By the way, check out my pinned tweet. I'm doing something where you just reply to a random number between 1 and 50. And I'm replying with a quote from my second book, which is pretty cool, the Trading Quotes book. You see them posted up here. They're all on Amazon. And my books are free on my YouTube, at Cheds Trading. Check out the playlists. Trading Quotes book, Cancer Memoir. I've got a Trading Wisdom playlist and Trading Journal. It all goes into the Trading Encyclopedia, 3-minute videos, kind of any topic you'd ever imagine wanting to learn about. If you ever wanted to take, you know, technical analysis seriously, this is a great starter for you. You can study from this series and probably go do reasonably well in the CMT1 test. If you're ever curious about looking up little things like a candle or how to use Fibonacci's, Wyckoff, you know, what's an uptrend, and just a lot of just really interesting academic concepts. I have videos here for you, several hundred videos, so check that out. Just to let you know, this is sponsored by AlphaX, which is backed by BingX. I have a partnership with BingX for like 6 or 7 years. This is a new DEX, a new decentralized exchange. You can do TradFi stuff. You can do cryptos, futures, really easy to use user interface and super low fees. So definitely check out AlphaX if you're looking for somewhere new to trade. I have that linked. And of course, I am a founding analyst, Bitcoin Live, twice a week, full market report with the best team in the world. Studies crypto. I think our 8-year anniversary is coming up pretty soon, which is super cool. We are going to hang out. It's me and you. It's me in a mask and a microphone, and you with your questions. We're going to talk about whatever you want. You know, of course, we'll do Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'll scroll through altcoins. I'll try to point out any that look interesting to me. And then if you have questions, like I want to check out, like, you know, your charts, you know, like someone's asking me about Brent oil, we can do that. You know, metals and like MicroStrategy, or what was it, like Avis car rentals been going crazy today. So we can kind of look at everything. The big question is, you know, has Bitcoin broken out? Are we breaking out? It's certainly, if we are breaking out, it's not, and that's the title of the video. It's not a convincing breakout yet. We do have initially the price poking above, you know, poking above the March highs and poking above where it paused, you know, a week or so ago on Tuesday, right? It set this high again. It tried to break out here and it came back, and then boom, we got the breakout. Okay, we got the breakout. We had, you know, the bulls were celebrating, making fun of bears, and making fun of people like me who, you know, I've been saying since November, you know, I've been saying since up here that I think we are going to find our way eventually, you know, down into 35 to 45K range, you know, probably later this year, and set a bottom. And so people are making fun of guys like me, which is fair. But I also called this bounce ahead of time, if you remember. You know, as we were trading, let's go back to the weekly. And if you remember, we were trading, you know, we were trading right about here, right around 76K. And I basically said, you know, really pay attention to this next level down, right around 60, 62K. It is the 2021 peak. It's this price structure, 38-week range, and it's near the rising 200, pardon me, a little bit lower. Let's go a little bit lower. So I was saying really pay attention to this range here. And we got the bounce. So even though, again, you know, as you know, if you follow my play-by-play, and I try to give you both high time frame and low time frame stuff. But, you know, if you follow both, you know that I've been, while expecting lower, I've been looking for opportunities. The bounce off 60, 62K. As it happened, you know, I gave you signals. If you check my feed, of course, I said, okay, we should hold here. Here's the bottom, and then the retest. And, you know, most recently I gave you guys the trade here, right there. on March 29th. You can check old streams and stuff, but I gave you the trade here when we had the sweep. I said, okay, sweep and recapture. And that was the low, before this last advance and trying to break out. And like, have we broken out? What's the deal? Has the, has the time frames changed? Like, what do we think? Well, we're still priced below, a falling MA200 in the daily. Weekly chart did have an advance to the underside of the SMA 20, but it's somewhat similar thus far. To this advance here. Range peak break, SMA 20 area. And until proved, we need a little bit more, I think we a little more oomph, a little more follow through to think we're not just in the bear consolidation, right? You have the people calling double bottom. Okay, but it's got to break out. A double bottom has a, it's got the trough, the two lows, it's got the peak. And it's not a double bottom until it breaks the peak. And we're there, but we haven't really broken out yet. You see the price fighting, on lower time frames, here in the 4 hours. So if we kind of zoom in the 4 hour and we kind of try to get a little bit more clarity, a little bit more illumination as to what the breakout level is. Well, on the 76K break, right, you really want to see it hold roughly 75.5. That didn't happen, but it found a bid here at 74K. Right, found a bid here around the 4/8 MA50, the 4/8 lower Bollinger Band. And it's trying to break out, but it's not quite there yet. So for me, it is a little bit inconclusive as to have we broken out yet? Are we going to break out? There is room for a rally here in a downtrend still, right? So we can break out of this structure, if you want to call it ascending triangle reversal. We can still break out of this structure and bounce really all the way up to 84, 85 and the 200 before you start to think maybe the bottom is in. Like, it needs to flip this area, and I've been saying this for months. So when people ask me, I get tweets all the time, when 35K, Cheds, when 45K, or what would it take for you to change your opinion? Well, you just got to watch my streams, folks. I try to stream as much as I can and explain my high time frame, what it would take to change the high time frame picture. So you got to stay up to date, and it just needs to flip, 84, 85K zone. It's still very clearly in, this falling channel here, falling channel on the weekly after the, loss of the initial trend. And, again, do we need our typical 70% drop? Or which would be, the one I'm forecasting is a little more mild. I'm thinking, around 70%. Or is it enough? Is it just enough for us to tag the 2021-22 peak? And you don't know. Nobody really knows until we kind of flip lines in the sand. So there's a big line in the sand. Recapture of 84, 85. Okay, so there's Cliff. What's up? Good to see you, brother. So that answers the W. Is it a W in the weekly? Sure, but it's got to break out, right? We know what a W is. It's a double bottom. You can have equal lows. You can have lower lows with a sweep. You can have a higher low, more aggressive buyers. But in all these variations, you have to break the peak or the top of the structure. And until then, it's just a theoretical, W or a theoretical double bottom. Okay. All right, so let's see here. So we got that. We've got Ethereum is still chilling. If you guys don't mind, I'll look at a couple charts and then I'm gonna bounce around. I like to make it interactive. I want to see what you want to talk about, but just to kind of catch everybody up. Ethereum, similar W type structure, but unclear on the breakout above 2,400. That's the level above. It is more importantly, perhaps above 2,150, which is the kind of the major flip level going back. On the high time frame, going all the way back, way back to, to 2022. So, really 2150, 2200 below and 2400 above. We've got some alts not really doing much. Solana's not doing much. TRX is grinding higher. Let me just give me 1 second. Let me fix my glasses. 1 second. That's much better. It's much better. So TRX has been just like relative strength player, right? It's been stronger than much of the rest of the market. And you see it really nicely here grinding higher. Let's clear all this up. Big, beautiful rounded base. or like an Adam and Eve if you want. And this is a double bottom, right? This is a double bottom that has broken out. So it's grinding higher, pushing into the structure. One of the better looking charts. Zcash break on 260, but inability to hold at 320, 325. That's an initial loss of momentum, for Zcash not being able to hold at 320, 325. But hype. What's going on with hype? Somebody mentioned hype. So again, you have a couple ways to look at it, but you clearly have the rising demand, okay, and then you've got the stair stepping going on, where you have the idea of resistance turning into support, and that's the case. But we didn't hold here where we would have wanted to see it hold. So that's going to be an overhead level that the price will have to deal with right around 40, 41. We would have wanted to see that hold. So let's pay attention to that. Critical support is going to be around 35, 36. DEXE, beautiful chart, one of the stronger charts. Breakout and bullish throwback here. Beautiful move. I mean, kind of an astounding move. $2 to 12. Casual six bagger. And here's a break of the structure and throwback or bullish retest from above. All right, let me scroll back up and see what you guys want to talk about. There's a lot more I want to cover. Other altcoins, like Venice token looks really good. Venice token's been pretty strong. I want to point that out to you folks. That's been super strong. And I know Aave had that big DeFi hack. Bounced right into the trend. Falling supply trend and drop back into support. Kind of draw it like that. Let me just get that. And drop back into support. I mean, I wouldn't want to touch this. I think it probably goes lower despite the volume. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's do some requests. Let's see. Psalm Capital, good to see you. Catharsis, nice dance. Thank you. Hello, Dougie's. Let's see. You have to risk it for the lipstick. There you go. Can you check oil Brent? So let's look at oil. Let's take a look at oil. I want to get your requests. I'm here to hang out with you. You're spending your precious time with me, and I thank you for that. I really, really thank each and every one of you for that. So look at West Texas crude. Let's look at West Texas crude. We look at USO, US oil as well. So, all right. I mean, it's holding on the MA50. This is clearly a consolidation. Is it a double top, right? Is this a double top? If so, it hasn't broken down yet. You've got a volume trend. That suggests this still has some more time to consolidate. So this probably morphs into more sideways, something like this, rather than just a clean breakdown, okay? It is an uptrend. It's first MA50 after the price expansion or after expansion of the move. And USO as well, still pretty elevated. So we're still seeing elevated oil as well. Generally a risk off, right? You think it's generally risk off for equities markets, but equities have been like, we don't care. I mean, we're just grinding higher. So this still looks bullish to me as well, USO. I mean, SPY is ridiculous. I mean, all-time highs. Clearly, you pay attention to the throwback level, 695, 700. We had the break. We had the kind of deep V base. We had the measured move from the V base right up into that level. It just accelerated through it. And we're really seeing no sign of slowdown yet from equities. Here's the NASDAQ looking super, super strong as well. So, I mean, it's surprising to see that the market is kind of shrugging off this move in oil right now. NOW, okay. NOW was requested. Now, is that service now? What is that, service now? I'm here for you. We're doing your chart requests. Yikes. Yeah, I don't like this chart. This is an underside test. This is a short setup. What is your comment on it? You said 2 filter breakout at 100 Psalm Capital. Yeah, I mean, I don't see it happening. That's a pretty important level there to kind of have any kind of confidence. But let's zoom out and put this move into perspective, just so we can have a sense of what we're doing. Okay, we dropped back into this structure. It's got support. Definitely a pretty fast drop. We do like the volume. If you want to use a 2-level filter like around here, what I would do is pick I'd pick this structure here. I'd pick a structure there. So 2-level filter, rather than 100, I use like 105 or 106, right? The peak of the consolidation just before it dropped down. Yeah, I would be really careful with it. I don't really have a lot of confidence. I might even be looking for a short right here with an invalidation slightly higher. What's up, Martwan? Okay, RKLB Rocket Labs. I think I had that on another list. So how are you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Let me know what's going on in your life, how you're feeling, what you think about the markets. I'm happy because it's that time of the year. I can plant things. I can go outside. I can hear the chipmunks and the squirrels, and I can see the birds flying around, and flowers are blooming. So I guess I'm that kind of guy where I get really into the spring, and I love being outdoors. It makes it hard to get in come inside and work at a computer, but you got to do what you got to do. So what do we think about Rocket Labs? I mean, that's pretty bullish. You say OBV breakout. That would be the on-balance volume. Okay, for sure, on-balance volume breakout. Not quite price breakout yet, but a very, very strong-looking trend. That is a fact. Let's see. Bear market rally March 1. Yeah, very well could be the case on Bitcoin. But, I mean, there's variations of bear market rallies. You can have a rally to the EMA 8. You can have a rally to the MA 20, which is what we're looking at right now. And I would characterize as a similar rally as the last time. And then you have enough strength to attempt to flip, a major level. So that would be like level 1, level 2. You could even have a level 3 bear market rally. Very loose term, of course. And then it would just, if it can flip, 85, then you're looking at a different texture of price action. You're definitely looking at a characterization, a change in the trend. And again, that would really make me question my thesis of the bottom not being in, if we can flip 85K. Michael Harris says 38K. Yeah, I've been saying basically 38.7. I've been saying 35 to 45K. I feel like 38.7. I did a stream with Trader Main and Ponzi the other day for their like Ninja Trader or whatever that is through Kraken. And so that's, right there, 38.7. That's my call for where I think it could bottom later this year. But it's just a super, super guess. David Monk says, isn't Bitcoin in an ascending channel? Well, I mean, sure. Within a falling channel, within an ascending channel, right? So primary, secondary, minor trend. So the Bitcoin primary trend in ascending channel. The secondary trend, which has kind of got the momentum right now, is a falling channel. Within that, you have your ascending channel. So I'm not sure what you're referring to. Like a bear flag is an ascending channel, right? Or a bull flag is a falling channel within a larger, price expansion. So this is the channel we're focused on right now because of the momentum break, because of the failed throwback, because of the loss of support, loss of MA 50, and the cyclicality of Bitcoin, what it normally does. Again, within that, these are just consolidations. So when you say, isn't it in an ascending channel, I assume you're referring to that, which is more the texture of the immediate or the local consolidation. And by the way, you may listen to me doing these videos, and again, thank you. And you may be really confused or partially confused or somewhat confused about anything I'm saying. Every term I use is from the textbooks, and they're explained in the trading encyclopedia, right? So you can kind of brush up on that. They'll help you out a lot. Mandeep Kumar, thanks for coming back. I know you were here earlier. I don't know if this is the right platform to ask this question. You said it's a stupid question, but probably not. It's probably a good question. The question is, I'm trying to learn trading, but I'm confused with plenty of information around. Yes. Yeah, so far I haven't found a solid platform where I can learn basics and strategy. What are you talking about? You're here. Bro, I teach professional technical analysis for free. I publish 4 books. I make them free. This series, the Trading Encyclopedia, you can really just soak this up. It explains simple concepts, complicated concepts. This 3-4 minute videos, you need to watch all of them. Just anything you're not sure about, you look it up in this playlist. And if the video's not here, I'll make it for you. If other videos I'm about to make, but RSI failure swing, gravestone doji, MACD, what's the MACD? And then there's a lot of stuff strategy-wise. It's okay to sell a downtrend. I have quotes from my book. I have trading journal, sample trading journal entries, how to see oscillators in the chart. Like this is I think the best collection of educational alpha anywhere for trading anywhere. I've put like a lot of effort into this, hundreds of videos, 335 videos. I mean, what do you mean? Mandeep, this is all you need. You start here and then you kind of go from there, brother. But this is your one-stop shop. Cliff, we talked about the W. Copper, what's up, Calm? Psalm Capital, copper. What do we think, copper? Wow, look at that. Big, strong move into range peak, pre-breakout, potential breakout, strong bull momentum, rising demand. This is a nice looking chart. Copper's at an interesting level, absolutely. Still trying to find support, but consolidating between resistance and daily EMA 8. Resistance and daily EMA 8. Yeah, it's a nice looking chart. Copper looks bullish, probably going higher. You mentioned Fetch has tightening Bollinger Bands. That was I had observed the tightest Bollinger Bands in like years. And these are here, the blue lines. It's 2 standard deviations of volatility away from the mean MA20, the middle Bollinger. When you get these really tight bands, it depends on the time frame to put into context. And of course, I have a video on that. But when you have these tight bands, it suggests that there's volatility coming, right? You get tight bands, volatility expansion. A little bit tighter volatility expansion, tight, and then you get expansion. So we have an initial bear break, but I think honestly with Fetch, the fact that it broke down, if it recaptures this level, you can take a long in 22.5. You often will get kind of fake out breakout, first move on the Bollinger Pinch being a fake out. That could be your spring or your retest, failed breakdown, and then you get a recapture, of 22.5, you could be good to go. So I think that's quite reasonable. Martuan, the fact that ETH didn't make a new all-time high this cycle is depressing. Yeah, definitely a little bit depressing. And it's partially because of the hype. If you remember back to the right-angled descending broadening wedge here, and we ended up you can take the measured move, right? And everybody was calling for at least 6,500 log target or 95, 10K on a linear 6,500 log 10K. And the difference essentially is log for higher time frames because you more percentage move, and linear, each amount up is the same. I have a video on that, log versus linear, but it's a thing with measured moves, right? So for example, if you take this, I'm on log right now. So this is back to linear. So if you did, for example, here's the Ethereum chart, and you're right, it didn't make an all-time high. It got rejected, but there was quite a bit of enthusiasm and reason to believe we would get an all-time high. And there is your linear target 6,500. If I go to logarithmic, all right, which you generally are going to use logarithmic on higher time frame. You're going to use it on crypto. It's a volatile market. That's one of the pretty much rule of thumb on higher time frame and more volatile markets. You want to use logarithmic. So the log target, right, was at like 10K, right? So even 65 to 10K doesn't really matter, right? None of them happened, and I was juiced up. I mean, I was thinking we're going there. We had a beautiful high time frame break. Look how well established this level was. The rejections in March and June and November, you break it and then you fail to hold back. And this was just an unbelievable warning sign. So, it's not a situation where, unless you're Tom Lee and you're buying with other people's money and you don't care, it's not a situation where you would have just bought it up here and just held it and not cared. You had a pretty big momentum loss, a pretty big, break in momentum on a failed hold there. Can I look at wheat? Sure, Cliff. I see all the requests lining up. I'm going to go down in the list and try to get to everybody, okay? All right, let's go back to this watch list. Let's take a look at wheat. Okay, ETV for wheat. What are we doing here? I haven't looked at wheat in a few days. Okay, nice little let's try that. Let's get that up here. Nice little reclaim. All right, nice reclaim. So this initially looked like a high and tight consolidation. It broke down. High and tight, bull flag break, failed to continue, found support. Now it's back, kind of back into the range. That's good. The question is, can you explain, is this a bottoming pattern? Well, it wouldn't be a bottoming pattern. It would be more of a continuation pattern, right, Cliff? It's already bottomed. This is, at least temporarily, this is a bottoming pattern, rounded bottom. So that's the bottoming pattern. This is trying to continue. So the question is it still like a bull flag? It's kind of gone a little bit long to still be a bull flag. But it generally is still generally a bull churn. You're holding MA50, you're holding here. So I think you have reason to think it will continue if it can hold above 22, 22.50. But this is just choppy choppy, headline sensitive. Commodities are very tricky. I tried to trade commodities like wheat and corn and stuff, and I realized I don't know what I'm doing with those. I mean, these are markets you have to study for a long time to get a sense of it. You've got current prices, then you've got the like prices 6-8 months out. You have all these machinations and things going on. We talked about fetch. We talked about signs. Let's look at this one. SIGN was requested by Rakesh. Sure, buddy. SIG Group. Is this like an insurance company or something? Or is this the right one? SIG Group. Is this what you wanted to talk about, Rakesh? Can you let me know? And I'll look at JST first, Rakesh. But if you could just confirm that's what you want me to look at. Probably. These are both, what are they, foreign stocks? SIGN. Well, let's look at this one first. SIG Group. Let's see. It's not terrible. Certainly not terrible. Beautiful price base. And you see these gap downs. You understand the concept of a window in candlestick theory, or the gap, where the whole gap in theory is resistance, but it's really the top of the gap, which is critical. So right here. And it's played out with the price. The price has advanced right into that level, has been unable to break it. And you actually now have falling highs, lower highs. So a beautiful rally into that level. And then look, this gap filled. Right? Same thing in reverse, where there was a gap up at the bottom of the gap. So the gap down, the top of the gap up at the bottom of the gap. And it held here critical support. So this still needs some time. It's certainly not out of the woods, but I would pay attention. 1050, 1237 level above. GST rising with the MA200. This is a better looking chart. This looks pretty good. A lot of price history. We'll go to the weekly chart, rising lows. Generally holding above where you want to see it hold. This has a nice continuation look. I would say that probably continues higher. Let's see, Link, sure. We got a Marine in the house, folks. Let's take a look at Link. I don't have it in this list. Do I have a Link here? I know I have it on like my other alt list. There we go. Marines suit up. So it's got that whole, maybe double bottom type of thing you see going on with Bitcoin, right? It's just weaker than Bitcoin. You can just see it here, where you've got your W, and whereas Bitcoin's like roughly up here, Link is down here, nowhere near the trough or the breakout point. So it's got similar structure to Bitcoin, to Ethereum. It just has relative weakness, which means the market doesn't like it, which means you should probably stay away from it. Okay. Cliff wants to know about cattle. Let's do it. CAT. Let's do it in this other list here. Let's keep this list clean for crypto. Cattle. Let's do it. Wisdom Tree Live Cattle. You got it, Cliff. My guy. I love looking at charts for random stuff. I mean, why not? Okay, so there you go. Moo. Live cattle grinding higher. That's a bullish look. Inverted head and shoulders continuation. Breakout level, trading above the breakout level, looking good. This looks like, Wisdom Tree Live Cattle looks like it's going to go up. If this is the price of cattle, it's going to go up. So can you look at and suggest a potential entry and a stop loss? Well, what are you trying to do? You said it looks bullish. So that means you're looking for a long trade. So I would say wait for a little more of a discount. Okay, it's starting to consolidate a little bit. Maybe you would target this structure right around here, right around 985, and use that. Okay, that would be reasonable. And then your stop loss, you could say, okay, I'm going to use the lows of this structure. I'll use the peak and then the lows to define my risk. You could do something like that. CMPS, ATAI. I know there was a rescheduling of I don't know if it's fully. Well, there's some executive order about like mushrooms, magic mushrooms. I'm a big proponent of psilocybin. I always pronounce it wrong. Psilocybin, where it's just wonderful for anxiety. It's wonderful for substance abuse, for depression, treatment-resistant depression, like major depressive disorder. Treatment-resistant meaning like you've tried more than two, at least two different treatment modalities. They haven't worked out, and it's great for teaching you mindfulness. Obviously in small doses, and they're working on the medicinal delivery of it and all that good stuff. And so I just want to see more research CMPS, Compass Pathways. Huh. Okay. I mean, it's not quite out of the woods, but it's definitely showing some legs here, showing some strength. Major important recapture here. That's notable. You get the big volume spikes indicative, of accumulation, and then you have these lower high breaks, these local breaks here as well. So this definitely has a good deal of momentum. Okay. So CMPS looks pretty good. Whatever, folks, while I'm doing this, let me know what you want to talk about. I am honored that you're here. I want to hear your comments, your feedback, your questions. I want to try to shed a little bit of light. It's always fun to have someone else look at a chart and give you a perspective, an honest perspective. And then that's hopefully helpful for you. ATAI, let's go to the daily chart. Okay, I mean, still a decent looking chart. Certainly decent. Moving along with the MA200. It's kind of a weird this is a weird channel here, though. I'm not sure what to make of this. But it's holding there going forward. That's important. Kind of got too high too fast. A little bit of selling off. And what's going to be important to see if it can hold 430 going forward. Hey, Cheds. All love. Thanks for doing the stream. Thank you, Sebastian. It's very nice of you. Super and Alice looking decent as well. Super, that's altcoin, Super USD. Let's add that to the list. I know I've got that. Super looks decent. Are you sure? Or were you thinking of someone else? Super looks decent. This one? Yeah, I don't see it. Alice. Is that what? I've never heard of this. My neighbor Alice. This is what? Isn't that Alice? Is that from the Brady Bunch? I'm old, but okay. Big bounce in a sell-off. Interessante. Let's go to the weekly chart. Yeah, I don't like either. I really honestly don't like either of these charts. These are downtrends. This one especially just had a bounce in a downtrend similar to that. I really would avoid these. There aren't that many good-looking altcoins, ones that you can put your hard-earned money in and think that you have a chance of it going up. This isn't one of them. This is rough. This is rough. What is March 1? What is IBEX 35? Sounds like IBEX 35. What is that? What is it? IBEX 35. See it? Something I'm learning something new every day. Spain 35, whatever it is, mega bullish. This is mega bullish. Initial pause at range peak. This is very likely to continue. Very, very, very likely. Initial pause there, but this is a bullish look. This looks really good for Spain. Cheds, can you do natural gas capital chart? Looks like it's broken. I'm completely sure. Let's do it. So I know there is UNG, and there's other natural gas. What is it? What is it? The other natural gas. UNG Boyle, ProShares, Bloomberg. Let's take a look at that. And that should give you and there's just a specific one you want me to look at. We can do that too, but okay. Boyle not looking good. That's a bear trend. That's almost definitely going lower. Yeah, this too. These are both looking rough. What are we thinking? Are you thinking, and I know there's a seasonality to natural gas in the winter, right? Generally you get a little bit of a rise in the winter. Little bit, right? Maybe a little bit, but yeah, this is rough looking. These look pretty bad. This suggests that natural gas is going to get cheaper. So yeah, these look pretty rough. All right, Tamir, if there's another one you want me to look at instead, let's see, MicroStrategy, sure. Let's go. A lot of talk about Michael Saylor on the timeline last couple days. I was wondering if something specific happened. But I think it was just because he just bought more shares and now he owns like everything and people think he owns too many shares or whatever. So there's MicroStrategy, nice volume here. Kind of a, arguably a 2-level filter breakout where you have a descending supply trend break and the lower high break. And by that thinking 150, you want to see hold. I have been mega bearish on it since about 3:30, if you remember. And it was on, I believe on the stream, I noted the loss of the weekly MA200. So we've had a pretty strong unwind. Since then, found support at similar structure to Bitcoin, such that that would be the Bitcoin 55K low. A little bit of it was initially relatively weak compared to Bitcoin, found support there, and so there's some reason for optimism here. Now, if Bitcoin, it's trying to break out 75.5. If it fails to break out, this will come down with it. But for the time being, and just trading. Clean this up here. Just trading the four corners of the chart, which I always recommend, that you really just try to simplify things and just, focus on what's in front of you. You're feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about MicroStrategy and the 2-level filter break, and you want to see 150 hold. Can we do Rocket Pool Utility? Says Dan. Dan says, can we do it? Sure. I have no idea what it is, but we'll take a look. Rocket Pool Utility. Is that Rocket Pool? What are we doing? Rocket Pool. Here we go. That's funny. Rocket Pool. I'm thinking of, go easy and be here with Pocket Pool. You guys know what I'm talking about? Pocket Pool. All right. Rocket Pool. Yeah, not a good looking chart. Do we like this? It's got a base, but you could say diamond top, diamond bottom, right? You're thinking about diamond bottom, move down. You have kind of like the two symmetrical triangles, but facing each other, where you have the volatility expansion and then volatility contraction. And again, I have a video, specifically on this pattern. With the diamond, bottom, it says you can take a long and a break of the trend line. I would really just wait for the peak of the structure. So for me, that'd be all the way up here. Even a potential kind of inverted head and shoulders, but I just see it as a downtrend trying to reverse, but most reversals fail. Trends tend to continue, so I don't like it for that reason. But if it can get all the way back up above 310, 315, it has a better chance of a more sustained reversal. If you really like this, if you're zooming in, you're more aggressive. You say, Cheds, well, I can just very clearly take a break right here, maybe on 210, 215, that's also quite reasonable if you're kind of looking for a very early sign that this is turning around. But I've just lost my money. Most of my trading money has been on trying to guess a reversal, and so I'm just like philosophically opposed to reversal plays. All right, let's see what else. I broke my skateboard today. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Cliff. Martwan, you're welcome. Torres says it's raining like crazy in Texas. What part of Texas? Psychedelic stocks, you need it. Yeah, we did that. Tesla, sure. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's right here. What are we doing? Big, nice little bounce here. And importantly, a recapture of that 380, 385 level. So if bulls can hold on here, that would be significant for the trend. If bulls can hold on here, above 380, 385, that would be pretty significant. It's got some work to do, though. Still working with lower highs, but there's definitely been a bullish bounce and damage done to the bear case in that the bulls did not reject at 380, 385. All right. Thank you for the comment about the education, Psalm Capital. Let's see here. I'm trying to get to everybody in the comments. Lot request. Tesla, we did that. Solana, please. You got it. I'm here for you, brother. Solana, yeah, just kind of boring week to the market. Range lows, range peak above. I wouldn't touch it till it's back up above 95, 96. I think it probably does break down and continue lower. This is generally just a bear rectangle. The market doesn't like it. That's the thing. If this is Bitcoin, it's up here, so it's weak to Bitcoin right now. Let me see here. Ethereum 4H channel breakdown. What would be your target? Okay. Good question. Everybody, thank you, by the way, for being there. Everybody who's hanging out with Big Cheds on a Tuesday. I don't stream all the time, but you can always catch me, of course, Bitcoin Live twice a week. I'm on Twitter at Big Cheds. Just to remind you, this is sponsored by Alpha X, a brand new DEX if you're looking for somewhere to trade. They're a partner of Bing X, who I've worked with for 6-7 years. So just remind you guys to check that out. That's very nice. So what do you think? So 4-hour channel. Your question is Ethereum 4-hour channel breakdown. 4-hour channel breakdown. What would be my target? Well, I mean, certainly 2150. And that just generally lines up with also the daily support resistance pivot, the daily, the key level. We had the initial early or out of line move, and then rejected, rejected, rejected. Now multiple throwbacks or multiple bullish retests from above. So 2150, definitely. Okay. Rakesh, you said sign is crypto. Okay. Is it? Is that what you're looking for? Sign USD? And did I miss your other one? JST? Okay. Then I just covered charts you didn't want me to, but I'll cover these for you. Thank you for being patient. Sign. Okay. Here's one daily candle. I can't really talk about that. Let's see. Hopefully we got more than one candle. So I don't know. Let's see. Can't really do any. Are you asking me to do technical analysis on this? Like, where is their history? All right, there we go. Now we're talking. Looks like it was just recently listed. So here's sign. This is just a terrible chart, brother. Why are we, Rakesh, why are you, I would love to know why you're following this. I mean, this is just like utter rubbish. Terrible, terrible, really, really bad looking chart. JST is the opposite. JST looks really nice. This is strong. Capital.com, whatever that is. Is there, let's see. Let's go to Binance. Yeah. Okay. This is on Binance too. This is a nice looking chart. I might start covering this on Bitcoin Live. Let's move it up. I'm going to put it up there and start showing them this. This is a nice looking chart. This is bullish. Nice hold here. Local breakout and consolidation. MA50 rise. Then we zoom out. Go to the weekly chart and zoom out. This is a nice looking chart. Strong advance right into this range peak. So this looks pretty good. This is a good looking chart. Absolutely. Much better than Solana. Much better than most of the other stuff that we're talking about. Kunovo says, how's it going? Can you review UUUU? Is that is that uranium or something? I'm trying to remember this one. I knew it was like an energy thing. So UUUU. Okay. It's not me, it's you. Not you, it's me. That's a nice bullish coil. I like this. I kind of like this. I mean, boom, ascending triangle, right? That's a nice looking chart. So this looks a bullish look on UUUU for sure. And NLR, what is that? National something. Yeah, nuclear. That's right. I thought these were nuclear. So that's bullish. Yeah, same look. These are good looking charts. See, this is good taste. You can tell somebody has good taste when they come with these last two picks. I mean, you're looking at uptrends. You look at a consolidating uptrends. We're not looking at, downtrends and hoping it's a diamond bottom and hoping it's an inverted, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We are trading with the trend, right? If it's an uptrend, wait for it to dip. If it's a downtrend, wait for it to rip. Trade with the trend. This is nice bullish consolidation. These are a very nice looking chart. 2% dividend too, huh? Interessante. Luis, thank you for the comments. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Mandeep wants me to look at Meta. I'm happy to do it. I'm here with you. I really appreciate you folks. I don't always get to talk to you. I don't see all your comments. But I try to stream once a week if I can, just to stay in touch with the community. I'm still learning from you folks. I'm hoping that you're enjoying my alpha, especially the trading encyclopedia and my books, which are free. My books are free. And my books have done really well. So thank you for that. But I like more people to read them. So check them out and all the long form interviews. Meta. What do we think about Meta? I mean, it's definitely a bull trend with the 200, but it kind of has a topping look. Kind of has a little topping look here. A little head and shoulders, knees and toes. So what do we think though? Let me just take a little deeper look here. Yeah, that is the weekly. So, well, I mean, there are a couple schools of thought. I mean, you can call this some type of a You could also, if you want to, you call it an ascending triangle, but this kind of looks like a rounding top or an inverted head and shoulders. Neck base would be right around there. Volume doesn't necessarily support the head and shoulders thesis. You'd normally have more volume in the left shoulder, a little bit less in the head, even less in the right shoulder. So it's a little bit inconclusive for me. But since it's inconclusive, you're going to go with the trend. You're going to assume that the trend will continue. Just pay close attention if it starts to lose that 590 level. We do have lower highs, so that's also a little bit of a bearish momentum overhang. Doge. Sure, let's go to Doge. I've got all the requests so far. I'm going down the list. I'm going to try to get to everybody until I run out of mojo and momentum, folks. So Doge, let's go to the daily chart. This looks like it was just getting ready to break down, and it still probably will. This is a pretty bad looking chart, but you do have at least another bounce setting up a line in the sand such that you could at least justify, if you like Doge and you're looking for a counterintuitive trade, you know, a break of 1050 would actually be reasonable cover for a long trade. So watch that 10.5 level, but this is just a bad looking chart. I think it's probably going lower. Let's look at gold. I've got gold up here. How's everybody doing? Chilling like a villain. All right, here we go. Gold. Yeah, all right. So starting a little bit of this consolidation. I had been thinking, and you know from the other streams, that we were going to do like an equilibrium or tightening range, but we just shot straight back up. And now we're dropped back below that level. Still an MA200 rising trend. Let's watch that pivot for momentum. It's a bullish chart, but definitely some damage has been done, and it looks like it wants to consolidate and essentially go sideways more right now. Looked at gold. You want to look at the psychedelic ETF, Mr. Solemn Capital. Let's take a look-see. This has got to be a downtrend because I know psychedelics have been downtrending for a while. But look at that. Oh, wow. Huh. I wish I'd been paying attention to this. I mean, that's beautiful. Where have I been? I wish I'd been tracking that. That's beautiful. Look at that. Look how clean this turnaround is. Inverted head and shoulders, 2-level filter break, breakout, throwback, and now acceleration. That's impressive. That is impressive. See if it can hold around 1850 going forward. This is a beautiful, beautiful big-time turnaround. I thought this was just going to be something like that, but apparently it's this. Well, not this last part. I went too quickly, but that's looking pretty good. I wish I had been tracking this one. I would already be in it. What is your take on Qubit? Isn't that like qubits? Quantum computing. Okay. I haven't really seen this chart before. My take on it is it's a sideways chart. That's the weekly chart. Let's see what the momentum is on the daily. This is a consolidating chart in a falling channel, and this is a big momentum pivot here where the price stopped and paused and established demand for a month and a half, 2 months, failed to hold, and we're doing what's called a pullback or an underside retest where you have a support level, lose it and come back and retest it from below, the opposite, of course, of a throwback or a bullish retest. That's what this is. But the high time frame chart suggests it's probably just going to kind of just go sideways for a while. So there's not much of a trend. Not that exciting for me. What's my take, Maxim? Good to see you, buddy. What's my take on the French stock, ALKLH? Alkaline something or other? Let's do a couple more and we'll wrap it up. Clio Holding, okay. Yeah, my take is I don't like it. It's a bearish chart. Get rid of this one. Don't touch it. All right, that's probably most of your requests. There's a few more, but I think I've kind of got everybody. Okay, thanks to the same idea. I learned the majority of my TA from you. You're an excellent teacher. Thank you. Wonderful comments today, and you folks are really, really nice. I've already covered Tesla rational, so go back and watch that As soon as the replay's up, you can go check out Tesla. I'll do Micron just real quick, and I'll kind of wrap up. I want to show you Bitcoin, Ethereum, a couple altcoins to keep you in mind. Wow, look at this thing. So yeah, Micron is like mega bullish. You're doing a megaphone as well, broadening. You can very easily break out of this. This is a very bullish looking chart. Okay. So the question is back to Bitcoin. That's why we're here. And have we broken out? Is this a double bottom or not? Right. And as we know from a double bottom, right, you've got troughs and you've got the peak. You have time interval in between the lows, and you have price distance from peak to trough. Okay. Now, it's not a double bottom. Let's do it this way. It's not a double bottom until it breaks out. Have we broken out? Are we breaking out? I mean, we're right there. We're right at the breakout level 76K. Let's go to the daily chart. You can see it better, right? You can call it an ascending triangle reversal, attempting to break out. And chopping through the breakout level here, I would have wanted to see initial throwback and already be up at like 79K. Mandeep says, I'm struggling to find pattern structures and correlate the candles. Mandeep, just go, honestly, just the trading encyclopedia. Have you watched it yet? You got to watch all those videos. So we are at a critical level with Bitcoin because it's trying to break out, but we're also, and enthusiasm is high, and we're making fun of bulls, right? But bulls would say, well, this is really just, move, consolidate, move to MA20, move to MA20, all right? And higher time frame, the price needs 84, 85K for me to think the bottom is in. And so I talked about gradations of it. Someone asked me, is this just a bear rally? Well, first level, the bear rally, EMA8, second level, MA20, and third level is here. And you could even rally a little bit higher and then reject. And, my end of cycle bottom, 35 to 45K, could still very much be in play. All right. But I'm open to changing gears when we get new information. And for me, that would be a recapture of 85K. In the meantime, we're just fighting. You can see it on the 4 hour. We are just fighting to hold here. This breakout level, we get above it, then we're below it. Now we're chopping through it. We're not getting a conclusive break, which is what you really would want to see if it's a genuine bullish break. Because of the bear momentum, because of the bear overhang, you should be very cautious here. I think because we haven't had a significant initial response as you would have wanted to have seen. And those are my thoughts there. Do you think it can be a successful W bottom? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you're not going to get the full measured move of the W because you have the structure above, right? The concept of measured move with obstacle. Even if you take the height, again, as you know, you take the height of the W, say from the low point, you go from the breakout level, that gets you to 92, 93, 94, but you can't overlook all this resistance here. It's the concept of measured move with obstacle. I've gone over that many times in the past. So even if it's a double bottom, it doesn't mean it's going to definitely go to 94, 95. It's got to clear 84, 85. And clearing 84, 85, holding that would be just unbelievable in terms of reversing the bear momentum. So those are my thoughts. I'm, of course, on Twitter at Big Cheds. I put out a lot of stuff here. I welcome your feedback. I love your feedback. I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live. I've been doing that for 8 years. I do a twice a week full market report. Maybe 3 or 4 times a year, I have the admins declassify my reports. They're somewhat like, these live streams, but they're more in depth. And I talk a lot more about game plan, how to handle stuff. That's on the public blog, so you can see the free reports. You really want to soak up my YouTube channel. I've built like a massive educational library for you. I teach you professional technical analysis for free. So I would just encourage you, if you're someone who wants to learn, to check that out. And just to let you know, there is a new decentralized exchange I'm supporting, Alpha X. They are partnered with BingX, who I've worked with for 6 years. You can do TradFi futures, crypto futures, really easy to use. User interface, very cheap fees, and I just have a great relationship with the BingX people. So check out Alpha X. The link is here in the video description and on my YouTube. YouTube and on my Twitter. So check out Alpha X. They are sponsoring this page. You took time out of your day to come and hang out with me. You fill me with joy. You fill me with energy. So I thank you for that. The fact that you are here and spending time with me does mean a lot to me, and I hope you know that. So, share, like, all that good stuff. Let me know if you don't like it. Let me know what you want to see more of and less of, and give me your feedback. And till then, just be kind to yourself. Know that it's going to take time to get better. Keep grinding away, and try to have some fun. And on that note, we're going to dance. We're going to dance with the Church of Eight Wheels. And from there, we're going to go enjoy the weather and hang out outside a little bit and try to have some fun. So, folks, we'll do that. So, folks, thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon.